whisper, step inside, take a seat, feel the magic in the air. Cards on the table, let the spirits take you there. Aeson's got the insight, Joe's teching up the show. Sip that truth, honey, let the mystic wisdom flow. Oh, ooh, it's the Sidekick Coffee Shop, where the vibes are high and the tea gets hot. Mystic minds with a little sass, talking life, the stars and shadows past. From tarot spreads to future sights, we're spilling secrets left and right. So grab your cup, let's take a ride on this cosmic caffeinated guide. Yun, ooh, it's the Sidekick Coffee Shop.
Good evening and welcome to the Psychic Coffee Shop. I'm Aeson Knight, and of course I'm sitting down with the mega with the most, Techie Joe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. How about you? Oh, hey, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda. Yeah, not doing so well, but that's okay. Like, we'll get through it. I was okay, well, what was going on was I was trying to wild hunt. Y'all may have saw me attempting gaming streaming. We got to talk about that. I'm going to put a poll up and see if you guys want more of that. And, well, not only if you want more of it, but do you want it on this channel or do you want me to form another gaming channel? And I went to let the dog out and I stepped on something. I thought it was glass because there was some broken glass there.
Oh, it was.
And it did not do well. So that took me for a ride to the ER where I saw Dr. Dum Dum. And then we went to, hey, I got crutches for a few days. And, you know, it's been a few days.
It's been an experience.
It's been an experience. As y'all know, I don't take getting waited on that easy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, wondered when it cut off. Hope you heal fast. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
He didn't cut himself. That's the upside. Like there was no puncture, no cut, no. And he didn't even bruise. So yay for that. Nothing's broken.
Nothing's broken.
So yeah, it's a very painful little foot.
Yes.
I mean, however that worked. It was one of those like 1,000,000 to 1, like you just stepped on something and stepped wrong at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a sprain. So yeah, it's kind of weird to describe.
Exactly. It's not. I don't know. I think I may have bruised tissue, stretched something, pissed something off.
Yeah, move something in a way that it did not want to move.
Right.
Which, I mean, it's fortunate not to break something when that occurs, because that's typically the kind of force. The battles were the quietest I've seen Aeson.
That's because we've got to figure out the sound, because I was already.
Oh, that was a whole other event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was in a Discord with the other team members. They weren't in the stream. Oh, you're talking about the semifinals, which I did get an award for. That's really nice. There is a poll up. We're going to leave it up until Are You the Asshole comes up. It's about the gaming content, which, you know, then we'll talk about the things that we can, like I'll give you options like, do you want us to do a mountain bears while fishing? Or do you want to see more wild fights? Or do you want to see the alchemy side?
Absolutely. But yeah, no, we were having fun with internet in West Virginia that night.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
It was
reason,
pure luck.
yeah.
Pure luck. He got to
Mhm.
even participate. It like our internet died. What was it, 10, 15 minutes before everything started?
Yes.
Yeah, so you were able to like go to a Wi-Fi hotspot,
Mm-hmm.
get reconnected, get signed up because there's a
Mm-hmm.
pre-registration thing,
Right.
and then did that all through hotspot.
Yep.
And it was like, ooh.
And then I'm in that position of trying to figure out how do I get this to my Patreon, because I had told my Patreon if I make it to semifinals, I will get you the stream, because he normally streams at normally one, sometimes two of the battles. So there was this large debate on if he's got time to stream, if he didn't get time to set the stream up. We've got to work on, like, I want to help him get to make streaming easier for him. And so I'm like, we're losing, I've got to get this out. Who can I send this to get it out? Because, Techie's in the same situation.
Yeah, so Brenda thought the others were hilarious, especially Damien loved his quick references to movies, music, and TV. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
actually the creator
It
of
is.
the whole game in a game.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is the figurehead of Obsidian Chimeras.
Yes, he does amazing stuff. His channel is wonderful. There's another channel, an Catalyst channel, that does a lot of the tutorials. And it's really created like this side business within our passion project. Um, you know me, I turn everything into a secondary moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in Second Life and want to come do chimeras, look for Aeson's Apothecary. You will find top of the line animals, potions, and elixirs. If you want to come into Second Life and want to do Chimera, we are happily able to walk you through the setup, walk you through the bodies, tell you all the good things, where to get the hot clothes, all that. You can come see me DJ. I know I can't stream me DJing because that'll piss off the YouTube world.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of problems there.
Yeah. Lots and lots of problems. Of course, I've gotten you into it. The Invisible is somewhat into it. Like, he needs to get his team.
Yeah, did he get registered?
He got registered. He has 2 teams. He needs to go get them out of the portal before they starve. And then I have to doctor them.
Yes, that would be work.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that will be the complications of the complications. So anyway, the poll is up about future gaming on this channel, which is the Aeson Knight YouTube channel. Y'all want to see that? Do you want to see it on this channel? Do you want to see it on another channel? Or no, shut the fuck up, you do enough. You bore us enough.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be fun, because I think every Sunday we're going to go wild hunting. Like, that's a good bonding family moment, because you got some nice animals with Queen of Swords.
Yeah, that was a nice gift. I appreciate that one. Yeah, been able to do a fair bit with that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I won't be competing.
No. Yeah, he's chosen not to compete this season. He can compete whenever he wants. It's totally up to him.
Yeah, I don't think I will be.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But he does help get supplies, because it takes a lot of supplies. All right. So with that, I want to kind of move into an article you brought to us.
Okay. So the Perth Bears.
Yeah, the Daily Bear. Yeah, the Perth Bear.
Shannon, you're missing it. Where are you? All right. So Shannon brought up there is an event that has occurred. So Perth Bears, why a club set up for burly, hairy gay men, sent an urgent message to supporters of the NRL's newest team. So fans of the NRL's freshly announced Perth Bears team have unwittingly been trying to join a club for gay men due to confusion over the organization's name. The supporters' attempts to join up have prompted the Perth Bears supporters group to clarify that their membership is not based around the resurrected club, which played first grade the North Sydney Bears from 1908 until 1999. Bears Perth is a social group for men established in 1993. We are not associated with the newly announced NRL club, the group said in a statement on Facebook. Please do not sign up for membership if you are here to join the rugby club. According to Grindr, a bear in gay culture is a man who has plenty of body hair and also tends to have a bigger physique. It comes as the head of rugby league in Western Australia has predicted the Perth Bears will have 30,000 local members in their first season and lay claim to one of the NRL's biggest fan bases. So after being confirmed as the league's 18th team, officials have begun laying the groundwork for the Bears' competition entry in 2027. A board is expected to be implemented by the NRL in coming weeks, with former State Labor Minister Peter Tinsley among those linked to a role as one of at least 3 West Australian directors. That will clear the way for a CEO and coach to be named, with Brad Arthur, the early favorite to mentor the team. I believe if this is done really meticulously and professionally, I would say 30,000 local members. I think 30,000 is achievable. NRL WA CEO John Saxon said. So anyway, so yeah, it kind of goes off into the whole rugby situation. I find it more hilarious.
Okay.
That there had to have been an onslaught.
Right.
People finding this, that Bears Perth Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it had to be a moment for the Facebook group that's like, why are we suddenly getting a really odd number of new requests?
Right.
I wonder how many people got let in or joined, either which way. I don't know if it's open or closed membership.
Right.
But I wonder how many people joined up and then were like sitting around going, I don't think I'm in Perth anymore. At least not the rugby side.
Right.
I see large men and well, they like balls.
And some of them are rugby players.
Not exactly the rugby one I had in mind.
Yeah. You know, and it'd be like, okay, so no, like, you see, and what I'm wondering is the cross dichotomy here.
Oh yeah.
How many rugby bears are going to be over there?
And maybe vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there are sort of like heavily overlapping groups, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure it's also a moment of like, I think I took a left.
When you should have took a straight right.
Yeah. I've made a wrong turn some.
Yes, very much so. And that happens like when we're like naming companies, naming groups, naming organizations, you got to research the hell out of it.
Well, see, and what they were doing was they were resuscitating a name that had previously existed.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens that in the middle there somewhere.
Right.
Well, 93, but so the last 6 years that they existed,
Right.
yeah, that they kind of
Right.
had a previous overlap during the early internet age where it probably wasn't that big of an issue. Only
Exactly.
now,
It's an
a
even
big
bigger issue.
issue.
Right.
Big issue.
Yeah.
And I also wonder how much was like a Facebook oopsie doodle.
Right.
Because when you start looking at and following a lot of material for things, because
Mhm.
all this happened on Facebook, is what it sounded like. I assume there was probably a little bit of an oopsie doodle there,
Right.
in which, like, looking at articles about Perth bears
Mhm.
inadvertently triggered serving up ads and other stuff for
Right.
Bears Perth
Right.
without catching in the back end that those are not the same people.
Not the bears you're looking for.
You have made a wrong turn.
Right.
This is no. But it does happen.
Right.
Like we see it in search results too. Like I had a moment with Chat GPT today. Let me tell you, I
Mhm.
misspelled a name, and you would have thought it all was over.
Yeah.
Because and it's a common
Right.
It's more to do with I spelled the name correctly as you would see it now.
Mhm.
It's an older name, and it is
Right.
spelled differently.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I started looking for a bio, just to like quickly put one together for someone.
Mhm.
And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Like it would not get past the misspelling. And so I was like, oh, well, let me try again.
Right.
And sure enough, popped right through. But it is one of those things sometimes when you're searching that with two very similar names.
Right.
Or names that get used in a way that don't clearly articulate what you're talking about.
Mhm.
You know, if you had looked for or had been, you know, paying attention to in terms of
Right.
Facebook, if Facebook had been paying attention
Right.
when serving up those related connections,
Mhm.
that, you know, we're talking about rugby.
Yeah.
So why don't we kind of pay attention to the content or the way the content's flagged? Because I'm sure that Bears Perth is properly identified
Mhm.
as like an LGBTQ organization, as a
Right.
gay group, and not a sports group.
Right.
I would assume. I would assume.
Right.
So contextualization becomes really important.
It does.
But yes, Brenda, definitely sounds like the description of rugby players.
Mhm.
And again, it is that kind of close,
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. Very close. Very close.
But
All
I
right.
wonder if through the inadvertency of all
Mhm.
this, they might end up working together.
Oh, I know they will because of course fundraising.
hmm
Mhm.
I think it would be adorable.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. All right. So let's see. Let's go to MSNBC's report.
Oh yeah, so from MSN, speaking of bears, so Cheer star George Wendt dies at the age of 76. So Wendt, who starred as the beer-loving Norm in the classic sitcom Cheers, has died at the age of 76. The six-time Emmy-nominated actor died peacefully in his sleep Tuesday morning in his home, his family confirmed. Quote, George was a doting family man, a well-loved friend, and confidant to all of those lucky enough to have known him. He will be missed forever. The family has requested privacy during this time. A representative shared in a statement per Variety. Born on the south side of Chicago on October 17, 1948, Wend was one of 9 children. He was the uncle of Ted Lasso star Jason Sudeikis, whose mother, Catherine, was Wend's sister. Wend attended the University of Notre Dame before later attending Jesuit Rockhurst College in Kansas City, Missouri, where he graduated in 1971 with a BA in economics. Shortly after graduating, he spent 6 years at Second City, Chicago's legendary improvisational theater troupe. There, he met his future wife, Bernadette Burkett, who would later appear on Cheers as Cliff's John Ratzenberger Halloween date in season 3, as well as the unseen off-screen voice of Norm's wife, Vera. So Wend's tenured portrayal of Norm across 11 seasons from 1982 to 1993 earned him 6 Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. He and co-stars Rhea Perlman, Carla Tortellini, and Ted Danson, Sam Malone, were the only 3 actors to have starred in every single episode of Cheers. So yeah. It's unfortunate. Like, Norm! Like,
Right.
one last Norm.
Yeah.
So.
It's very hard watching some of these people we grew up with crossover. It's also like looking for who is filling the shoes, and I'm not seeing it.
Is anyone else just like struggling to see actors of today, actors and actresses, having that same kind of like long-term like staying power?
Right.
Like, it feels like we're doing this whole Baskin Robbins flavor of the week kind of thing. Right. I'm not saying I hate every actor or actress currently coming up, but it's just like I'm not really seeing them do the thing.
Right.
That like a lot of them are kind of here and gone, and they're not really doing the level of work.
Right.
Like they're not doing the kind of churning of movies, which granted a lot of that probably is because the industry is better than it once was.
Right.
But there's I don't know, they kind of seem to just be like, oh, hot celebrity, and then gone.
Right.
And then who is that again? Or I really like them in this, and then really don't see them in anything else. And it's kind of like, what happened? Did you just decide, okay, I did one blockbuster and I'm done? I mean, which fair. Right. I can understand. It's a treadmill if you get on it, and try to like recreate some of the big careers. And again, there's not necessarily as much of the necessity of it.
Right.
That like like your golden era of Hollywood, Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, just to name a couple, who financially never made enough from any of their movies.
Right.
To be able to really, truly, honestly quit working.
Right.
Like it was not the same kind of like they were contract players. They got
but like, they got a lot of turned out movies fast.
Well, yeah, they had to. They were under contract. You're doing 8 movies a year. You're doing 12 movies a year. Right.
But like one of your favorites, I think, was shot in like 4 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Like we used to have like the older movies had a lot tighter schedules. Like it was literally like we talk about how much of movies got formulaic. A lot of that had its like origin story
Right.
in the golden era of Hollywood, when they really were like churning movies as fast as they could to make money.
Right.
Now a lot of those movies were kind of crap, and you didn't really have other options like television set with rabbit ears and 3 channels.
Right.
You know, go see a movie, even if it's crap.
Right.
At least it was something.
At least it wasn't football. Because everyone knows football was destructively destructive on Monday or on Sunday or Saturday when you had 3 channels. And all 3 of them would have, 2 of them would have football, 1 of them would have golf.
Right. But then we moved into the era in which movies had to compete with just sitting at home watching television.
Right.
And so we got a lot of weird copycats of movies. Like there would be a new big budget blockbuster coming out, and you would watch just from like the promotional stuff.
Right.
All of a sudden, some B-rated, half concocted, low budget film would come out with a very similar name, enough to confuse and split the ticket sales.
Right.
And so people are sitting there like, didn't I already see that? Because it got to the box office or DVD release or VHS release faster.
Right.
Ultimately, all the way to like streaming release. And it's why we do have those moments on some streaming services where you see a movie and it's like, I swear to God, I've seen that before, but it doesn't look right.
Right.
Or inadvertently, you start watching a movie and you go, well, this is crap. I thought this was supposed to be a really great movie.
Right.
Oh, oops. Wrong title. Like, nope, that's not it.
Yeah. Well, you know, or you get, like, I'm sorry, I'm at the point, I don't even know how many Halloweens there are.
Oh, yeah. Well, the franchise movies, I mean, those had their own moments. That's a different formula.
Right.
That's the horror movie franchise system. And those run under one set of rules. And typically, yeah, they go on for a while. Your third one, usually by the time you hit your third one, it's kind of garbage. And then once you get out into 4 and 5, you get some reprisals that are decent.
Right. And then I just can't keep up with them. It's like, you know, the 19th season of Jason, it's like, can we just not? Like, you know, his poor mother was a controlling bitch. Can we stop this? All right. So let's take a break, and then we come back. We're going to be talking about how it's going to be a lot harder for American banks to operate.
All right.
Right. Where's my break? There we go. New break.
Love diving into metaphysical topics, psychic insights, and lively discussions? Now you can help keep the conversation going. By becoming a Patreon supporter of The Psychic Coffee Shop, you'll gain access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and special perks just for our patrons. Join our community and ensure that your favorite psychic show continues to thrive. Your support helps us bring more enlightening episodes, special guests, and deep dives into the world of the unseen. Become a patron today and enjoy a cup of wisdom with us every week. Click the link to join the baristas and unlock exclusive content. Thank you for your support.
Unlock your full potential with Aeson Knight's life coaching. Are you ready to take control of your life and manifest the future you deserve? Aeson Knight, a seasoned life coach and master psychic, is here to guide you on a transformative journey. Whether you're navigating personal challenges, career transitions, or seeking spiritual growth, Aeson's life coaching services offer tailored guidance to help you achieve your goals. With Aeson by your side, you'll discover the tools to overcome obstacles, embrace your true self, and create a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. His unique blend of spiritual insight and practical coaching empowers you to turn your dreams into reality. Ready to make a change? Book your session today and start your journey to a more empowered, balanced, and joyful life with Aeson Knight. Click the link to schedule your first session and step into your power.
Are you ready for an electrifying podcast experience that keeps you coming back for more? Join Aeson Knight every week as he takes you on a journey through captivating shows, each exploring unique and fascinating topics. And here's the best part. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode where you can get your burning questions answered live on air, absolutely free. Whether it's relationship advice, career guidance, or mystical insights, Aeson's podcasts have got you covered. When you subscribe, you become part of a vibrant community, engaging directly with Aeson as he shares his wisdom and leaves you feeling empowered and enlightened. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation. What you'll get by subscribing: Monday 5 p.m. Metaphysics. Today, soulful conversations with Aeson Knight and Firefly, exploring the essence of metaphysics.
All right, we are back. Yes, the commercials need to be updated. There's only 2 shows. This one, the second Cow Shop, Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and Mountain Bears on Fridays at 9 p.m. And possibly streaming Sunday where I just stream and we have fun and hang out. We will see.
Very awesome. So Moody's downgrades JPM, B of A, and Wells Fargo after U.S. credit rating cut. So Moody's on Monday downgraded the long-term ratings of top American lenders such as J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo after pushing the U.S. out of top AAA rating club over its burgeoning $36 trillion debt. It also downgraded the long-term deposit ratings of Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, and Wells Fargo to AA2 from AA1, and cut the long-term counterparty risk ratings of certain rated subsidiaries and branches of BNY and State Street to AA2 from AA1.
Yeah.
So the sovereign credit rating cut on Friday sent ripples through global markets and came on a day when the U.S. president's tax bill failed to clear a key procedural hurdle as hardline Republicans sought deeper spending cuts. It won approval from a key congressional committee on Sunday in a rare victory for House Speaker Mike Johnson. The U.S. ratings downgrade indicated the country has less ability to support the highly rated obligations of these banks, Moody's said in a note.
Yeah, like this is going to make borrowing on the global era, getting financing on a more local era, even harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are definitely headed towards a very tight recession.
Yeah.
Because it's rare.
Rare.
I'm not even sure this is even precedent. Like, we are living in unprecedented times.
Wow.
The story of the 2020s, I swear to God. But in this, I truly think I can't remember the last time it happened. I don't think it's happened. Like, I think we've been rocking that AAA credit rating for a while.
2011.
Oh, we got downgraded in 2011?
Yeah.
Oh. Was that after the big bailout? Or the bailout controversy?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So, yeah. Oh. But it's still rare.
Right. And,
There are a lot of things with a AAA credit rating and not even linked.
Yeah. Because it fell in 2011, and now it's been downgraded even worse. And it looks like we're headed on a political climate of the 1970s where you guys can remember the gas station pricing.
Not that we're saying that is where this starts. Just there was a lot going on there.
Yeah.
That made the gas pump where that was hit the hardest.
Right.
Not that may not be where it's headed, but
Well,
Generally
and
speaking, that's
right.
not where it started.
Yeah, and we're going to be paying
And
more in interest, more like if you're looking to buy a house, I wouldn't do it this year. And not with big companies. I would look at little companies.
yeah, yeah. I think it's definitely going to become a lot about shop local.
Right.
Like, please shop local.
Yes. Deal with
Like,
your small businesses.
yes, we need you.
Yeah.
Now more than ever. And that really is true. That as we move into an era in which, like, this whole global trade thing that fucked up a lot of people's lives at the end of the 90s and the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
has kind of finally come home to roost.
Right.
That, you know, and this idea that we're going to instant turn a switch and restart American manufacturing at scale.
Right. Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that we can't get it back.
Right.
I'm just saying that's not that's not a in the next 4 years
Right.
doable.
No, it isn't.
I doubt many companies are really going to invest the effort.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're going to expect a second term.
No.
And even if some, third term technically.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to expect that to happen. And even if it were to occur, through, you know, whatever legal wrangling occurs to make that possible, or
Right.
make it occur,
Right.
shouldn't be possible. But whatever, you know, it takes to do that, I still don't think companies are. I think they're just going to weather it and just go, well, sucks for you.
Right. But see, here's the
Like,
thing, and this is the bigger problem here, is the US dollar's always been the global trading dollar. This puts that into question. Are we going to be globally trading in yen? Are we going to be globally trading in, you know, and see that, and a lot of people don't get this. If we don't globally trade in the US dollar, all these places that, like, you go to Mexico, they'll take the American dollar, they'll take the peso. They may stop taking the global dollar. I work for an Australian company. They pay me in Australian dollars and it's transferred to the American dollar. Well, that transfer of the American dollar is going to be less because our credit rating goes down. Plus, our biggest loan holder, China, we're now paying them more interest.
yeah,
And possibly defaulting on loans.
potentially. I'm wondering, though, if all this is just an end run attempt at finally busting the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And basically converting us to an entirely digital currency, such as Bitcoin.
That's a possibility.
Like, I'm really starting to wonder if that's not where we're headed.
Right.
Not that we needed to be, but just because, well, once you bust the dollar,
mm-hmm. Right.
At that point, you know, digital currency wallets start looking interesting.
Yes, they do look interesting. High recommendations. These are not psychic stock trips.
No.
These are high recommendations. If you're looking to invest in your blue chips, even if it is $2 in Coke, $3 in paper towels, the things that you need. Add your 401k to those things because it will stand the test of time. If you're going, oh, the market's too shaky right now. No, this is a buy market. For long-term investors, this is a buy market.
Hey, Blue.
Hello, Blue.
Well, long term, yes, it's a buy market. This is a horrible time to retire, which God knows no boomer needed to hear that one.
Right.
They're not retiring anyway. If they can drag their half-dead corpses to work at all,
Mm-hmm.
they are still doing it.
Right.
And I don't mean that as a total insult to boomers. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the most effed up time in history to retire,
Mm-hmm.
and think that that's going to work out.
Right.
Like, I get it. I get why you're staying on the job as you start approaching your 80s.
Yeah.
Is because you've watched the generation before you have to turn around and go back to work because the retirement ran out.
Yeah.
Or because the costs of long-term care
Mm-hmm.
drained it. Gone. Unbelievably expensive.
Right. Or, even worse, and this is the more worse thought, I do not think that our grandparents or our parents, and I've asked her, thought eggs would be $10 a dozen ever in their planetary imagination.
No. Well, I mean, it's not that you wouldn't predict that at some future point
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get there. Like, you're going to have inflation over time. Everything gets more expensive.
Right.
There are people in the world that are still lamenting the days of 10 cents a cup of coffee. And
Right.
what the hell is the Starbucks shit?
Right.
I get it. Like 89-cent hamburgers, huge
Right.
deal to people.
Right.
Still love when that sale rolls around every once in a while.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's the nature of everything. It is going to get, comparatively more expensive over time.
Right.
It's the nature of the thing.
Right.
Granted, usually that coincides with an increase of income.
Yeah. And it
for
has.
everyone, and that hasn't occurred.
Mm-mm.
At least not in keeping pace.
No.
Like, quite frankly, if you work 40 hours a week or more, you
Right.
should more than be able to support yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I mean, you shouldn't be worried about how you're going to buy food or pay the electric bill or cover rent or
Right.
make a car payment for the car that takes you to work.
Right.
And the insurance to drive the car and the repairs on the car. Like, it should not, like, we
Right.
had that. We did
Right.
that. We did that for decades.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
Vast majority of people were
Right.
living pretty decent.
Right.
By comparison. I'm not, like, there were a lot of other issues going on,
Mm-hmm.
but even still,
Right.
comparatively, it was insane.
Yeah. And, I don't think we've lived past all the insanity.
Yeah.
At this point. Like, granted, there are many things that I had figured we would see in our life. A tornado warning in West Virginia is not one of them.
Yeah, right.
Or, $12 egg.
$12 eggs. That was a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, $5 a pound hamburger. Not even
Right.
good hamburger.
Yeah.
$5 a pound, and that's the
Yeah.
sale price.
Right.
Like, I got excited over $12 tilapia today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ooh, it was
Yeah.
a 4-pack, but still, I like $3 a serving is all I could keep hearing in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, we can do dinner, and it's $3 a serving plus whatever vegetables we put with it, so we can like do dinner for $5 a person.
Yeah.
Because in my head is a firm belief
Right.
that dinner should cost maybe $5 to $7 if you're getting a little frisky.
Right.
Not the 14 a person minimum
Right.
we've been budgeting to eat out.
Right.
Like, that's a floor now.
Right.
That used to be like mentally a ceiling for me. It's
Right.
like, that's a really nice dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, how can I, like, where did we go? We went to the Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
delicious.
that one. So it was great. It was great. Don't get me wrong. It was worth the money. But there's that mental moment of the total was $50 some, and then there was a tip on top of it. So it was a $60 dinner for 2 people.
Yeah, no,
And
these
we
are
had
just
like one little shot.
right.
That didn't even register to the rest of the receipt.
Well, no, and you hear Joe, and I'm like, yeah, it's $50. Like, this is our normal bill, and you were like, huh?
No, it isn't, because that's $25 a person.
Yes,
And I'm
and
like,
for Mexican,
no.
and for the Mexican restaurants, it's normally $25 a person. Count it up.
And I mean, you're not wrong. It's just like, God,
Yeah,
seriously. Imagine people trying to get meals for $2. I feel for peeps who are in government help. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like but the wild thing is, like, there was a point in my life I had a calculated budget of what I could spend per day on food.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out to like $750, I think,
Mm-hmm.
per day.
Right.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I
Mm-hmm.
had a working functional budget around that.
Right.
That was not an eat out budget. Like, let's be clear, that was not an eat out budget. There was like a sub budget or a secondary budget item
Right.
for like eating out and fun and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But the literal day to day normal was
Mm-hmm.
like $750,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of repetition. There were some things that I have not really done a lot since.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Right.
That was the summer of soup. Okay, I had a lot of soup, and I got burnt out on a few. But it wasn't undoable. Like, thankfully there's enough soup varieties,
Yeah.
and ways you can make soup and things you can do with soup and around soup.
Right.
But no, it was a daily budget of like $750, and it
Mm-hmm.
was 3 meals a day. It's like trying to do like $2 a meal or less. My God, now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, not that we haven't pulled off a few of those.
Well, we can
And
pull off that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, okay. A box of pancake mix that is not non-gluten free is about $2.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
pancake syrup is like $2.98. So you're having pancakes every day for
I
breakfast.
have a lot of pancakes. Well,
Yeah.
that's just off of one like less expensive item, but no, I
Yeah.
mean, there was a point like I wasn't eating unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I could have eaten more healthy than I was.
Right.
Again, don't get me wrong, this wasn't the best plan I've ever had,
Mm-hmm.
but it was doable. It
Right.
wasn't a lot of extra effort.
Right.
Like, I wasn't dumpster diving. I didn't have to rely on the ugly plant shelf.
Right.
I didn't, have to buy the, oh my God, what did Harris Teeter do to my, meat?
Right.
Because and every grocery store does this. It was Harris Teeter at the time that I had to deal with this at. But no, like every grocery store does it. They take the meat that's about to expire and they do the shish kebabs.
Uh-huh.
Like the pre-made ready dinner. Yeah, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. That meat is so gone.
Right.
Like literally, if you do it, it is you pick it up out of that case, you drive immediately home, you put it in to cook.
Yep.
No in between steps. You do not stop for anything. You do not stop for gas.
Mm-hmm.
You drive from the store, you preheat your oven on the way. Like you call someone at home, preheat the oven. And you're in the door, it's in the oven, like you barely get the plastic off. That's
that or
I
you do my trip. Okay.
Uh-huh.
which is you buy those shish kebabs, you come home, you take them off the shish kebab thing, you're throwing those suckers in the freezer, and they're becoming stew.
I don't even think some of them will last long enough to freeze.
Depending on the freezer, yeah, I would give you that.
Yeah. Like, but that's what I'm saying is that's one of those like cost cutting things that makes you think there's inexpensive items. I will tell you right now, there are not.
No.
That is you got one Hail Mary to run that home and get it cooked before it dies.
Right. But it comes in a lot of things are like you have, and we've talked about this. I've done things about this. Is you have to reimagine a lot of things and play with a lot of things. And sometimes it's Top Chef.
I would about suggest it. I'm not kidding. I like every time I've been like, I'm going to buy the pre-made kebab thing or the whatever pre-made, like they've already got it at the grocery store. I swear to God, they've taken like it expires tomorrow meat, put it on skewers, stuffed peppers with it. Like they've done whatever and it's ready to eat. And usually has some vegetables with it, whatever. I swear to God, those are already like you look at them wrong. They will die. They are dead. They are garbage. They're done.
Okay, and I'm going to say this, and I hope other people get it. Tell me you shopped at Food Lion. You shop at Food Lion.
I did at one point. Harris Teeter pulled that stunt on me. Walmart is the world's worst. Not for that particular stunt.
Right.
It's that meat looked a lot fresher in the store.
Right.
And then you get home and it still looks fresh. You pull it out of the fridge. It still looks fresh. You go to use it and you find out that all it is food coloring on the top. Oh, you want to talk about making me mad? Rich, red, cherry, beautiful hamburger on top. And a gray, dead, lifeless middle and beyond. Oh, I'm furious at that point.
Okay, hamburger isn't naturally red, right?
Don't get me wrong. It's usually more pinkish. Should be more pinkish. But when you serve it up to me looking like the tenderest, juiciest, bestest steak in the world on a shelf, and I get home and I go to use it and my hands are now red, but my meat isn't, it looks like I've already browned or started to brown it in a skillet when I go to try to use it. Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad.
Yeah.
Like, and you dared to charge me full price.
Oh, of course they are. If not extra. They had to use extra dye.
Oh, yeah. No, like, those are things that it's like, don't do that. Like, that is what, to this day, I will not buy meat at Walmart.
No.
I'll buy frozen.
Okay.
I will not buy any of their fresh meat. I just, nope. Like, sandwich meat, sausage, stuff like that, I will buy that, but like their deli actual like not deli, but butcher counter, nope.
Right.
That's how mad I am, and that is what 15 plus years I've been pissed off about that one purchase. Oh, I'm still mad.
All right.
Just saying, but yeah.
All right, so we are up to that. Let's find out if you're the asshole this week. Well, first, let's end the first poll.
Yes, in the first poll.
All right. Oh, it is a divisional split.
Ooh.
Yes, but keep it all on Southern Channel. Yes, it's 50%. Yes, keep it all on one channel is 50%. And of course, no voters. So 0 no voters. That's good. So yes, they want to see more live streaming gaming content from me. We just have to figure out where it lives. Yes.
Figured it.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So let's find out if you're the asshole this week.
All right. Am I the asshole for canceling my financial support for my son's wedding after his fiancée catfished him to test his loyalty? My son, 23, got engaged a few months ago. Recently, he admitted to me that he had been texting with a girl he met on Tinder. That alone already shocked me. He's engaged, and that's obviously not acceptable behavior. But here's the twist. The girl on Tinder was actually his fiancée. She made a fake account to test whether he would stay loyal. And when he flirted back, she confronted him. Yes, what my son did was messed up, but creating a whole fake profile to trap your partner, that's manipulation. If you have to run sting operations to trust your fiancé, maybe you shouldn't be getting married. After learning this, I told my son I wouldn't be paying for the wedding anymore. I don't want to support a marriage that already starts with lies and games from both sides. Some people in the family say that I'm overreacting and punishing both of them. What's your opinion?
I don't think you're overreacting. Why invest in a poor investment?
I don't know that, I'm kind of down with you're not the asshole for pulling your financial support. I think the next part of that needs to be having a serious conversation about where do you think this is going to end up?
Exactly.
Like, this is where you already are. Like,
right.
Are you having that moment where you are so headstrong, determined you're going to get married that you're not really paying attention to, like, red flags all over the place? And that's for both of them. That's for both of them. The fact that you caught him with your ruse, fair enough.
That's even worse.
Well, no, fair enough. But the fact that you pretty much assumed that was going to happen to do it, that's kind of worse. And the fact you were right, and then, dude, you got busted. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing is my point. My question.
Yeah. Well, we know what you're doing.
Well, we know what you're doing. My question is, what are you doing?
But, like, why are you still trying to go forward? So, yeah, Brenda says they don't need to be together. He's still looking, and she didn't trust him before she catfished him. Enough red flags for a carnival. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically where I'm at. But it's like, why are you both still trying to move forward? Like, do you feel like this is like an avalanche scenario that once you say you're going to do it, you have to do it?
Right. Like I hope the wedding invitations haven't gone out at this point.
I mean, even if they have, that's the point you send out a postcard or something.
Yes.
Mass email. And just go, look, we're going to take our time with this. This may be too soon.
Yes. And then take your happy ass off to couples counseling. All right. So let's move over to the psychic credit. The poll is up to vote if Joe is the asshole or not.
All right. So our psychic brings us, I went to a psychic for an intuitive reading and he wasn't able to do it. I've had readings done many times in the past. I try to spread them out no more than once every 6 months to a year. I went to a new psychic this time. He was highly recommended with trusting reviews. He said he is an evidentiary psychic. So at the beginning of the session, he first tried to connect with my past loved ones or spirit guide where they could give him information that I would understand, and that would be evidence that he is real and he is getting the guidance from a real place for me. He tried for 30 minutes, but every person or spirit guide that he brought up was not someone that I recognized at all. At this point, he had to end the reading. He could not continue because he wasn't able to show the evidence that this is a true reading. I've never had this happen before. Why was he not able to connect with my past ancestors or spirit guides? Is it something going on with me?
One, I don't like these styles of readings because they're ridiculous. It's test the psychic, prove the psychic, whatever.
Yeah.
And here's why, and why probably he couldn't, is he's not in top performance. Like the past 2 days, I've took off. Why? Because I've been super medicated, low energy, and not able to focus. So I'm not taking readings. He probably should not have been working that day.
Very likely, yes.
He probably should have not been doing evidentiary mediumship, because it's not psychic, it's mediumship, if he wasn't in the zone for it. And I think this is something that psychics have a hard time dealing with, digging into, building into, is that no, I'm going to sit here and play my video game and be left alone in my chair because I can't read right now.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering, does it also just sometimes happen that, like, it's cute you book appointments.
Mm-hmm.
I need to tell you about someone else. I don't care about your fucking appointment.
Right.
Is also an alternative scenario. Plus,
right.
Sometimes you just get people that just, they don't connect.
Yeah.
And that can be at any, like, definition of that.
Right.
Like, you've had readings, and I know one very upset client.
Right.
Because, and that was more of a, she didn't like the way you said something.
Right.
Like, it's literally what it came down to is it wasn't that you said anything insulting per
She didn't like how I said it.
It was like, no, that can't happen.
Yeah.
And was like adamant that you are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, we will shift you over to someone else. Like,
right.
Because there's
and it still popped up. The same thing I said.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a moment of, like, professional, like, did you get the same thing I got?
Yeah.
Was I just having an off moment?
Right.
Like, did I get an energy cross? Did I get a wrong number somewhere? And it's like, nope, same thing.
Yeah.
She just apparently liked how the other reader said it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah, my top negative feedback, and I will tell you what it's over, is I'm not sweet, I'm not nice, I don't sugarcoat shit. I am diabetic. I'm not going to add extra sugar to your reading.
More importantly, he's going to suck it out because he doesn't get to have any sugar in his real life, so he's going to have all the sugar.
Yes.
All of it for himself. He's greedy.
I may be greedy, but he's rude because I'll say, you're dating an idiot. Number one, negative comments about me. He's rude. He answered my question, but I didn't like the answer. Or this doesn't feel like it should, like what I see. And then 3 months later, they come back. Yeah. 3 months later, I've had them come back into the shop or come back onto the network and call me under another username because I'm sorry, if it's low feedback, it's low feedback.
Yep.
And we don't work well together, so you can go somewhere else. And they'll go, you were right. He was cheating. He was a loser. That was correct. And you'll see them. I've read with him for more than 2 decades, and he's always right. Yeah, because I don't go in there with precognition. I don't care about your feelings. Now, I'll help you through it, but the reading says he's a dick. He's a dick.
Like
First,
usually your
yes,
nicety, your nicety stops at couples readings.
Uh-huh.
And when the couple shows up to get a reading together,
Mm-hmm.
and you already know,
Yeah.
and you're just, are you sure you want to do this
Right.
together?
Right.
We don't have anything to hide from each other.
Right.
I've heard it. I have seen it. I've saw the expression on your face that goes, I'm not getting a tip on this one. They're going to be lucky to make it through the first 3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Like you're just sitting there like, this is going to be a trail of tears.
Especially when the male presenting person walks into the reading with their head down. I'm like, oh, what did you do?
Oh, although I did joke at one event, it was funny. That guy laughed so hard.
Mm-hmm.
That because I think it was like his wife had gone for a reading, and he was he mingled around and came back through, and was looking for her, and it's like, oh, she just went back. And I started joking with him. I said, well, for $400, I'll give him the secret signal that tells him that you're not cheating.
Uh-huh.
And he laughed so hard. He was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. I can shut my mouth, but my broadcasting system continues to delegate it out.
Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, that's life choice one can make. Let's shuffle.
Uh-huh.
Like, like, oh, you're not gonna like this. This is gonna be long. How far was the drive? That's another one that gives you away.
Uh-huh.
Like, I know if you start a reading with how long was the drive,
Mm-hmm.
someone is walking home.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, yep, I know where this is going. So, how was the drive?
Mm-hmm.
All
All right. I made a Yeah. Please don't do a couples reading. You want separate readings unless you're reading about the house you're buying or the joint marriage celebration. Those things, yeah, both energy work.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just doing a general or where's our relationship headed, like,
No, you want a single for that.
Like, he'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, like, I don't know why people always assume that they're going to come into a where's our relationship headed couples reading.
Mm-hmm.
And they totally expect to get told you'll be together forever. This is your soulmate.
Yeah.
And
No.
that's not always how that works out. That's rarely actually how that works out. From what I can tell,
Right.
because you do couples readings and that's what they want.
Right.
I've never seen anyone really leave that reading happy. At best, you get that's fair, like that look when people walk away, like that's fair,
Right?
You know, like yeah,
Right.
yeah. Was
Oh.
little ambitious on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's more than ambitious. All right. So I left a comment and let's talk about it because there is a poly show, polycule airing on TLC, and I swear, like, can someone get me their address? I know they have a YouTube channel. I want to send them 2 books before this show turns into a shit show.
So yeah, that was which I can't remember.
It's polycule.
Oh, is it really polycule? Like that's
It's
the best
really
thing.
polycule.
We're gonna burn it up with polycule. Ugh. Oh, so yeah, apparently this show makes you want to throw my very well-loved coffee-stained, dog-eared, highlighted in 3 colors copies of The Ethical Slut and More Love, Less Conflict straight at the TV, because
Right.
whatever this is, it's not polyamory. It's reality TV cosplay with emotional whiplash. If the partners couldn't stand each other, they'd be Venmo blocked and living on separate chore wheels. And that blood test storyline, so scripted, I kept waiting for someone to wink at the camera and cue the dramatic
Piano music.
Oh, piano music. Okay, sorry. The rest of your comment got lost there. So yeah, that's where you're at with it. Such a ringing endorsement of Polycule.
Yeah. Okay. I will see what else I can copy in because I went on. Like, Petermon, I am sorry I dug into your comment section because your review of it just pissed me off.
Yep. So after the cue the piano, you want real poly problems, try figuring out who's staying home with the kids, who's working the job with the better health insurance, and whose car gets the driveway spot so the 6 a.m. shift doesn't turn into a 20-minute game of Jenga. Someone's got to meal prep, someone's got to clean the air fryer, someone's got to explain why there are 3 family calendars and nobody updated any of them. Who's the family banker? Who gets the bigger home office because their Zoom calls
involve real clients.
Yeah, actual clients and not just weekly D&D. Who's going to the soccer game and who's recording it so the partner working late can watch it with full commentary and homemade nachos? And most importantly, whose black shirt is this? Because it's in my drawer, it's not mine, and it smells like a cologne I don't wear. So either someone's got a new partner or I'm about to start a true crime podcast.
Yes.
No. The clues.
Yeah.
The clues.
Yeah.
Oh, so Shannon says, not that it applies to you guys, but Seeking Sister Wife, first couple seasons, has a couple, seems to be giving off. We want to have a cult vibes.
You know, I know I don't personally know the guy. I've watched the center of that poly family. Well, it's an offshoot. Anyway, I've watched him. His shit's together. Like his head wife, and yes, she is a head wife. They can say any damn thing else. That's the head wife. She has got her shit rolling and being like, you're doing this, and the other 2 wives are like, we've already got this. Tell him to go fucking make us some more money.
There.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it. Love it.
Yeah.
Do they have
But
classes?
no.
I think I need classes. Do they have classes?
She has a whole fucking YouTube channel. Like, they have done wonderful out in Seattle. But that was the first couple seasons. Then after that, TLC brought their writers in that someone please throw books at them. Like, they're not even going off of the worst book out there, More Than Two's dynamic.
Yeah. Well, which that one, I mean, I'd be glad they're not.
True.
Like if ever there was a book about polyamory that really do not follow, it is More Than Two. That book is horrible. And as a foreshadowing of how that worked out for the authors, that relationship polycule scenario went up in flames.
Yeah, and the co-author of that book wrote another book counteracting it. And I've not read it.
What the fuck was I thinking?
Let me look it up.
Red Flags by the Yard. Because it's one of those books, you start reading it and it really does all sound like it could work. That could work.
Right.
But then you really dig into it at a deeper level And it's like, that is so effed up. It's like,
Right.
wait a minute. Like, this sounds good on paper.
Right.
But you're dealing with real human beings, and you have some major logistical issues. Like, you're forgetting, like, whole other humans exist and are things that have feelings and emotions, wants, needs, desires, and, whatever else. And you've muted yourself. Oh no, I think his headset died. Oh dear. All right. So about that time for a new headset. Yeah. And there we go.
Yes, it is time for new earbuds. I will give it that. But no, her website, brighter than sunflowers.
Were the red flags of my polycule. Should be the subtitle.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And she came out and talked about how fucked up their connectual was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was yeah.
It's one of those things on paper, because so more than two is really all about hierarchical polyamory.
Right.
Primarily. Like, there's some takeaways you could use for, other forms, but primarily It's geared towards hierarchical, already married couple. We're looking to add a third that is going to be a secondary partner.
Right.
And secondary in every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
Is how that actually works out in that model. Right. And it's one of those things, you read it and it really is, it is all doable and works out great for the primary couple sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
But when you sit there and try to take it in from the perspective of the third or the secondary or tertiary or whatever airy partner, it's like, this is some fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's some fucking bullshit.
Right.
So unsurprisingly, this is basically what happened. It was fucking bullshit, man.
Right.
It didn't work. It blew up. Big time.
Big.
With the realization that it's also one of the primary books that emphasizes one penis policy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're unfamiliar, that's the basic idea that there's only going to be one man in the polycule, and then you can do whatever else you want to with women, both the man in the polycule and the women in the polycule. But you can't go have another man. It's one penis. If it's not mine, then you're not either.
Right.
So yeah, and again, it gets really misogynistic. It gets really again, it's surface level. It's not that bad.
Right.
But the more you dig, the uglier it gets. It's just, ew.
But my whole thing right now, and especially with Polyfamily coming out, we're ending Sister Wives, which it was a very sad ending of season 19. I'm hoping the tell-alls are a little bit more talkative about the dissolving of the relationships and not just focusing on the one event, even though it's sad. We don't know if there's going to be a season 20. Seeking Sister Wives, that was a whole ride and a half. I don't get why you would be doing these shows and not showing the real life the real life crap. Our worst fight as a couple that Invisible got drug in was over a tree, people. And where to plant it.
Not where to plant it, who to call first.
Yeah.
You said, fucking no one. I know my yard. I've been here since the 90s. And I went, I'm from a construction family. Before you stick a shovel in the ground, you call Miss Utility.
Right. And that
it's not a question. It wasn't even a question. And that's like how ingrained that was to me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a question. It wasn't a debate topic.
Uh-huh.
We bought a tree. We are going home to plant it in the yard. I grab my phone and call Miss Utility.
Uh-huh.
And literally request the markings.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question in my brain. That is what you were supposed to do. No question.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what the hell?
The hell
was that?
Why?
Because that's what you do when you dig. Call before you dig. There's commercials. Been commercials for years.
Yeah. And it's like, Miss Utility even missed the fucking line of the water.
Yeah, I know, but at least you wouldn't have had liability if you'd hit it.
Right.
Like, it does reduce your liabilities. Brenda says, we've never called to plant a tree or dig, Joe. LOL. Oh, see, Blues with me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Shannon, same Joe. Mom was a cement finisher, so she ingrained in me, call 811 before breaking ground. Yes. Look, they get it wrong more than they get it right, okay? But when it's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't call and you hit something expensive,
Uh-huh.
that's on you. When you call and they come out and mark it wrong, or they don't mark everything and you hit something expensive, that ain't on you.
Well, see, the problem is I knew my at this point they had not redone the road. So I knew where every, like, I can say the water line is right here. We're digging up the water line. Gas line is right here. We're digging up the gas line. There is nothing right here. Yes.
Still. You never know. Like, and it doesn't have to be that, like, you know, it could be something old and stupid.
Right.
Or it could just be old and outdated that
right.
was never, like, as in it's an old sewer line and you fall in. Yeah, there's some of that. Sophia says, I was putting a small pond with a fountain in for Mother's Day, and she was like, did you call 811? And I said, yes, and they still didn't mark it right, but I got your container in the ground anyway.
Exactly.
Oh, but no, they do. They believe me, they do. Like, and that was one of the things that and the reason it's so ingrained in my head, I'm sure, was Dad hit a whole fiber trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And did it more than once. Like, in his construction career, multiple jobs, they hit fiber bundles. You want to talk about fucking expensive? You slice through a fiber bundle and find out how fast those numbers add up.
He has more. He has more thought in me digging than he thinks he does.
I'm just saying. But if you've called and they have marked, that's not on you.
Right.
Like, it's just what it is. Oh gosh. So yeah, Shannon says, did I tell you guys how my husband knocked out the internet, cable, and phone for an entire town because utilities didn't mark shit right, nor did the companies put it where they said they did? Yes. Yeah, that's the reality of it, is they get a ton of shit approved and it is put on the Miss Utilities map, marked out that this, by God, is exactly where it's at. It's 30 feet that way. It's 30 feet that way. But when you call,
right,
that's an oopsie. That's not we're going to bankrupt you. Because that's the sad reality, is if you do not call, you have full responsibility, even if it's wrong.
Right.
So, so Shannon says, save the Hubs and his boss a few $1 million in court because they made sure to call first. He cut through the new high fiber optic cables. They weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have those yet.
They got it marked first. They didn't have to pay shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the sad reality is even if it is wrong in the system and you don't call, so what, and the logic there being, even if I called, you were going to come out and mark it wrong because it's not supposed to be there.
Right.
Doesn't matter. You get stuck with the liability. But if you call and they mark, and you're perfectly clear to dig right there. Yep, absolutely.
So we've got to plant 2 new trees in the front yard because the gas and water company destroyed them, replacing the road. I'm scheduling him to call early just so we don't have this fight. But those are real fights that poly people have. Why didn't you put it on the calendar? What do you mean I didn't put it on?
No. I ain't calling Miss Utility. Don't move on from this argument that fast. I ain't calling Miss Utility. I remember that argument, by God. We're not having that argument again.
Okay.
If you become indebted for the rest of your life and 3 reincarnations thereafter, that's on you. I'm going to be in the living room like I told the motherfucker you're supposed to call. Told him. But I ain't saying a word. No, I'm not picking up the phone. No.
Yep. Well, here's your guideline in case you decide to plant a tree in the yard. If it's behind the shrubs, you're fine.
Out of the way, Brenda. Out of the way. Where did Invisible stand on the call, dig, fight? Out of the way.
Yes. He went to his room and shut the door.
I'm out. I want no part of this.
Yeah. Because he knows how this goes. I get pissed off. I'm yelling and screaming. I'm at one of you. The other one inserts himself. That opens his dossier.
Oh, yeah. No, that was so bad we almost didn't do a show that night.
That was a show that was like 1 hour long. We went through 6 topics, and we were done for the evening and didn't speak for the rest of the week.
Yep, pretty much. It was an experience, yes.
Because once I'm mad, I'm mad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've reached that fuck all, burn the house down mad. I'm mad. Stay the hell out of my office. Leave me alone. If the door's not open, I ain't talking to you.
It was an argument. But yeah, no, it's like, okay, you dig the yard, you do whatever you want to do. You dig wherever you want to dig. I'll be over here. Like, I ain't planting the damn trees in your fucking yard. I ain't. No. Which, and honestly, there's no point. I will tell you right now, if I plant a tree in our yard, it can be the most beautiful, luscious, expensive, well cared for, happiest little tree in the world. It will die. It will die. He goes to the it's already dead plant shelf and has about a 90% success rate.
Yeah.
Brings it back from the great beyond of plant heaven, like sucks its soul back into its little, green, well, it was green, should have been green. It's now dead, brown, and lifeless body, and with about a 90% success rate.
Right.
Like, we have some very expensive shrubs in the front yard that if you drove past and went, wow, y'all spent a lot of money on shrubs. No, we didn't. They were like $3 a piece. Because they all came from the dead plant shelf. He lost like one.
Yeah. And that's because of the damn lawn boys.
That's debatable.
Really? Where's my Astarianuses this year? If you notice, they haven't come up one. I've got to get that brick put in.
I know. But yeah. Oh, that's one of the shows Shannon and I are messaging going, ooh, Aeson Stone. Nope, he's getting that way of saying things.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's been a while. Y'all gonna have to dig for that one.
Yeah.
That was like 8 years ago. It was it literally was our first argument, probably the first month I was here.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, it was like, and again, it was one of those, like, you went and paid for a tree. I'm sitting in the car dialing this utility.
Uh-huh.
Because this is what you do. And I'm so proud of myself. I was like, I already called Miss Utility for you.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, the fuck you did?
What you did? We don't need those assholes out here.
But he still gets that way of speaking. That's yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. And you'll find when I'm pissed, I smile even more. Yeah, that smile gets real wide. But anyhow, we do good. We haven't had many arguments here lately. There's the standard yelling about someone changed the cat box and someone put their fucking schedule on the calendar.
Yeah, neither of those are me.
No, neither one of those are you.
I throw Invisible under a bus.
Yep. All right, let's end the poll. It's looking interesting.
Ooh, where are we at on the poll?
Ooh, where's the vinegar? 50% is no, you're not the asshole for cutting the financial support to a wedding of a couple that should not be getting married. My question is, did you call the pastor because he shouldn't be marrying them? And 50% are you're in a deal pickle. Yep. All right,
you know
guys.
which way that marriage goes, call Miss Utility before you do. Or don't.
If you know where things are in your land, like you have tilled the fucking yard up before because you didn't like the grass, there is no need to call Miss Utility. Uh-huh. So with that, y'all, we will see you later. For my Chimera friends, we have a booking party to go on after Techie gets back at the temple.
Yes, he is.
Yes, she is.
All right.
All right, y'all. We'll see you later.
We got beautiful bean footage.
You do.
Yeah. So, of course, we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Brenda, Joan Owen, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Caitlin Bell, Devin, and Bella. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become Patreon sponsors and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com.
Yes. All right. Brenda had one last statement.
Oh, one of that couple may need to. If they get married, there's going to be a new bush going in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Just
saying.
saying. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. See you later.
Bye.
Buckle up, y'all. It's time to drop.